what's up everybody? It's your boy Khoi. I'm back again with another video. I want to title this video something that is not as inflammatory as some of the videos in the past, because I realized most of my channel's revenue is based upon how clickbaity, how triggering my titles are, which is usually the majority of my videos. I got the majority of my audience, you guys watching these videos, because I put some ridiculous titles in my videos, some ridiculous thumbnails, something that is inflammatory, something that is triggering to people's emotions would like to click on those videos. And I have noticed that being on this platform for a while now. You guys want me to be one of you guys want me to take your side, or do you guys want me to fail because I do not belong to your group? And I think that's an excellent marketing strategy right there, but I'm not that kind of man. I don't want fame, I don't want people to praise me, I just want my idea. No, I don't even want my ideas being pushed upon people. That's not what I want. I want a dialogue. I want people to start talking to each other and start to get to understand each other's point of view. I guess that's my purpose. I'm not trying to sell you guys anything. I just want to talk to you guys. That's it. That's it. That's all I want to do. I want to get my point across. I want you to take in my ideas and then formulate your own ideas and go out into the world and be a good person. That's it. But I want to share with you guys something. And these thoughts came to me last night when I was working at my nursing gig. And the thought is that, am I just a man living in a woman's world, a world that is run by women? Upon closer examination, upon reflecting on these thoughts over and over again last night and then also this morning when I was going to the gym, I came to the conclusion that it's nobody's world really. It's not men who are ruling the world, or that women at the moment are ruling the world. It's not like that. And even though you might be arguing, oh Khoi, you're wrong, women are running the world right now, look at the world around you, look at the feminism, look at the politics. I don't give a fuck about politics. I mean, I do, but I don't want the government to be a part of my everyday life. Like, I mean, they can take away my rights, whatever, but I just want to live a life that is meaningful, in which I have some sort of control over where I want to be. And if my rights are being taken away, then so be it. I will still find a way to make it work, you know what I mean? Like, the government can be very intrusive, very controlling. There will be a lot of stability, as you call it. Like, the government is going to be involved in everything in your everyday life, but I'm still going to make it work. And that's the kind of mentality I want to give you guys. Enough of that rambling. What I want to say is that the world is not really controlled by one group unless you let that group control your life. What I mean by this is that the world may take your physical body, but as long as your mind, your spirit, your soul is free, nobody can take control of you, okay? The world may put you in a concentration camp, strip away all of your rights, but as long as your soul, your spirit, what you stand for is still of your own, then you're still a free man. And I stand by this until the day that I die. You may kill me, but as long as I get to keep my soul, I'm free. But what triggered all of these thoughts? I thought I'd better tell you the story before this video becomes too long. So, you know, I work as a nurse. So in my nursing gig, you know how it is. When you go to the hospital, for anybody who has ever been hospitalized, when you're lying there in your hospital bed, the people that come to you, the nurses, they are mostly often females, and the doctors are often males. Nowadays, this has been a little bit skewed, and because of COVID and everything, you get people getting inspired, and there are more jobs going. More people want to seek a career that is stable. It's quite a lucrative business, to be honest, but like the mental and the physical aspect of it can be challenging. But overall, you see a shift in the paradigm of how people view nurses. There are now more male nurses, but for the majority of the time, it's still a female-dominated profession. And you can probably see the same in early childhood and other careers that involve looking after people. You will see more females because we're just built different. That's how God made us, to be honest. But I'm not going to get into that. But anyways, the fact is that within healthcare, there are more women than men, usually. And then you see in construction work, when you see in other trades such as being an electrician, being an automotive mechanic, you see more males, right? So I am actually a man in a woman's world when I work as a nurse, and a lot of the time I find it hard to really relate to my co-workers, both in terms of, I guess, our age, our experiences, as well as our gendered identity, because let's be honest, our world is complex and you cannot just understand everybody. It's hard. Like, you can relate to people, but you can never truly understand them. And when people are so, I guess, different from you, then it's hard for you to relate to them. I've tried my best, but sometimes it just doesn't work. The dynamics, it's not in my favor. Like, usually when there's another guy on our unit in the same shift, we would actually hang out together and leave the girls by themselves. But anyways, yesterday I tried to join in with my colleagues, and our ward especially, our culture is that during meal breaks we would go down together, sit at a table. It doesn't matter what you do, but we just all go down, everybody on the same break, go down, sit at the same table, we talk to each other, or we do whatever we want. And I was going down after these girls. Everybody already had their own table, so that table is already selected. I was sitting at the table next to them. I was waiting for the microwave. And then one of the nurses looked at me and said, "Bob, join us. Come on, join us, sit here." And so that's what I did. I joined them. And it was fine at first. Like, I was just eating. We were just eating. Nobody was talking. And then one of the nurses said, "How's your baby? How's the baby coming along?" One of the women has a partner who's also a female, and they were gonna get an artificially inseminated baby. I'm not gonna get too much into details about that one, but already I found myself in conflict. I recognize that I have a bias towards these sorts of things. No, not a bias, but like an aversion towards these things. I don't really agree with these things, so already I have a bias in my mind, which makes it hard for me to engage in this conversation. But then the other nurses, they started talking about babies as well. And this nurse, she was sharing her story when she went to a gynecologist. And this guy, he was old. An old man being a gynecologist. And then they were joking. And she said, "Oh, this guy, he instead of draping me, he left the drape up, so I was fully exposed." And then he made some comments such as, "Oh, I see you've been getting a tan." And everybody started giggling. And I was like, oh, it's so cringe. I feel secondhand embarrassment. I don't know why. I felt really embarrassed. And I kept looking at one of the other nurses on the same unit who was my age, and I looked at her, and she was smiling at me. Like we both knew it was a little bit out of place, and they're not really including me in the conversation. So in the end, I eventually made a comment. I told them, I'll leave you guys to discuss about your women business, and I'll take a hike. I'll go out for a walk." And they all started laughing. It was nothing. It was nothing. It was just a friendly exchange, I guess. People, they respect me for that, and we have this mutual respect. But at the same time, I have to acknowledge that I do not get along with most of the nurses on my unit simply because I cannot relate to them. Their experiences are so different from me. I welcome diversity, and I want to know about people. I'm open to talking to people. I am not a social hermit. But at some point, I have to ask myself, is this something I want to be involved in? To be a passive listener in this conversation without adding anything to them and feeling left out? Or should I value my peace and go out, take some fresh air, call my boy, asking him how he's doing, calling my parents, whatever, going out, get some fresh air, regain myself? I don't know, man. For me, as a man, I choose to do that. And people actually respect you more if you walk out instead of, I don't know, sitting there and taking everything in without saying anything. Like, that's not me. But I understand if you want to hang around them. Yeah, that's a tiny tip there for you. For you boys out there who might be working in a female-dominated profession. And the other thing as well, like when I look after my patients who are especially young females, I always have to walk on eggshells because of the things that happened in the past. I mean, I work in this ward, and it's a surgical ward, and I've rubbed shoulders with so many domestic violence cases, just abusive men, just beating the living hell out of these women, torturing them. And it makes me realize we men can be brutal sometimes, and especially for those who cannot control their emotions well. You know, men are lethal. When you cannot control your emotions, you become very lethal, and that's why emotional men are dangerous. I agree with Andrew Tate on this one. It's okay because you have to realize the power that is within us all. Like, we are lethal, we are killing machine. We are built for war, for conflict, for confrontation. But when you lose the ability to control this innate power that God has given you, you become dangerous. You become an agent of the devil. That's a bunch of words. I'm going to throw it out there. But yeah, I have to walk on eggshells every time I look after female patients because of all these negative stereotypes about men. Men being brutes, men being abusive. I don't think I can work with children because of what's been on the news as well. Sexual abuse cases between male nurses and then little kids. I don't think I can cope with that. I don't think I can be a person who works with women and children in an area that is specialized for them because of these negative stereotypes. Even though I really do care for them, I just think I am not there yet. I am not secure in myself yet to be doing that. Maybe one day I will go down that path, but for now I will stay clear of that sort of specialty because of what has been happening. Yeah, that's all I want to say for today, guys. Sometimes it can feel like you're living in a woman's world, but you have to understand that we are working in collaboration. We are better at something than the other sex. Women are actually naturally better at caring for people than men, although there are some great male nurses out there, I just think we are more built for something that is more geared towards leadership and management. But I find a lot of enjoyment and satisfaction out of being at the bedside, looking after patients one-on-one, being directly involved in their care. That's what I find the most value and fulfillment to me. And so that's why I'm going to keep doing this. But I also value my peace, and I know when to step out. And I don't hate myself for this anymore. I don't think of myself as that loner, that weirdo, that Sigma male depressed lone wolf anymore. I just value my peace, man. Sometimes you just gotta take a break and walk away from these women. As always, if you're still watching, I hope you're doing well out there. It's a beautiful day here. Stay strong, God bless, and I will see you next time. Peace.